sure you're all able to hear me. AZ called me. Quite busy streaming. It's a story mode game. I only make exceptions when I want to consider making exceptions. I don't want to get copyrighted. Yo. I fuck my bitch. I haven't yet. Not yet. Anyway, I got plenty of dopamine in my mind. I'm feeling joyful, feeling precious, and very eager to just continue playing this game, y'all. For real, chat. But anyway, chat, yo, what's good, chat? How y'all feeling? Feeling blessed. Back with more of you playing The Walking Dead Season 1 at my mom's place. As you can know. Am I in episode 4? No, I'm on episode 3. Excuse me. Episode 3. Oh yeah, you can notice because... Yeah, I was at my dad's place yesterday. Typically, I'm there on Sundays. But it was just because of that moment. Actually, no, 2 days ago. Excuse me. Yesterday was Monday. I had steak with my grandpa, my aunt. Not the white one. Just my aunt, which is like my grandpa's brother, and my grandma. Obviously, steak was, oh man, the typical steak. Tastes like cow, obviously. But yo, I'm a bit ahead though. I know I left off within the RV where Lee was about to check that Duck got bit. Yes, Duck is bit. For those who has watched my recent live stream from like 2 weeks ago with my mom's place, yes, Duck is bit. Katja got her head split open. No, it's not like for real, like literally, or like for real her head is split open. It just means that her skin was ripped halfway, and that's where plenty of blood started gushing from the skin cells or the blood cells within the skull or whatever. Who knows? But yo, I'm gonna be playing 3 episodes. I wanna play 3 episodes. 3 episodes, chat. 3. And then afterwards, I'm gonna be playing The Walking Dead Season 2. I'm hoping I can play that whole shit before like see me, chat. I'm hoping to play that whole shit. Yeah, like I mentioned before, like I'm hoping to play all Season 1 so I can play Season 2. I'm hoping to play all that shit before like I head to bed. Later today is my therapy session. I mentioned to Farhan about some of the things that I don't like about my therapist. She is not qualified. The brain is fully developed until you're 30. Actually, I did my research, not 25. Well, okay, there's certain things that needs to be fully developed until you're 30. So, like, the actual full mental maturity for certain individuals is 30. But why does people make it 35 to be president? Because your mentality just got fully developed until right when you're exactly 30, it just fully developed. You know, the mentality and the brain physically. So 5 years after 30, you have a fresh mindset to being a president. Even though I have full mental maturity, my brain physically is fully formed, or excuse me, not fully formed, fully developed at 25 or 30. But if it's 25, I have to wait like, 10 years to be a president? It's wild. Well, not actually, I don't have to, but hey, I possibly would know how to be a president, even though I'm not a president until I'm 48, like running for president. So right when I'm 35, I would know exactly how to be a president, but prefer to be 48 because I want to focus on being an astronaut. Anyway, I'm gonna mention this shit I typically chat about. So without further ado, let's get straight to the shit once for all you know. Let's get fucking straight to the shit. I shall speed if you're watching, which I hope you are overall. I'm not gonna be beating your record, but I'm gonna be staying up all of midnight, completing 3 episodes and play 400 days. I feel like he didn't play 400 days, chat. Unless he did, but I'm gonna play it. then I'm gonna play season 2. Or should I not play 400 days? Fuck it, I'm gonna play season 2. I am gonna play 400 days within my own time and add it to the save file. Yeah, what's the difference? What if I don't play 400 days? Would there not be any specific difference? I'm gonna see. If there's something, then it's possibly like an extra scene that I don't give a shit whether it's there or not. I feel like I know why. Possibly extra individuals from the 400 days. Bonnie is part of the storyline. She's obviously gonna be a part of it. Possibly that young black guy who just graduated from college is not in season 2 unless you play as him. Vince, he is in season 2 whether you play as him or not. I feel like because they want you to unlock some of the characters. Becca, you can see her like she's not actually in the game. She's like it's like behind the scene. Like she's just talking shit about the new rookies, like Clementine for example, which they don't know about her. Come on. You already know, you know? You already know! Anyway, I'm gonna mention the shit I typically chat about. Bro, spring is next week. Bro, it's warm as fuck. Yes, it's still gonna be cold, unfortunately. But hey, it's interesting. Typically, on March, it's still cold. And April and early May, and then like later on within May, like mid-May, it starts to get like warm like crazy. Man, God Almighty Jesus Christ knows his shit, you know. Let us, you know. But anyway, as I especially mentioned about all the political shit, all the business shit, so pretty much all the businesses me and Farhan Azara are gonna consider running as CEOs and chairmen, and the only one as business presidents is Naughty Dog. Obviously, there's gonna be unlimited sequels of Uncharted. It is my favorite game. I want to actually play all of it, like for real. I really like that game, you know. Like I like that game. I would never, within my life, hate Uncharted or The Walking Dead or any of those games. I would like that game, like the shit out of that game. I'm looking forward for season 5. Some people want season 5. Some are like, yeah, fuck no, they're not gonna create it. Stop asking that damn question. Well, guess what? I don't give a fucking shit. I'm gonna ask that question because I feel like younger people like to be dumbasses because they have small ass brains. Look at me, I'm in my 20s. When you're in your 20s, you know your shit. Hey, I have full mental maturity overall. Even at the age of like, what, 19, even I feel that they should create season 5. What you gonna do about it, huh? Yeah, keep on talking some shit. Oh, WWE's not fake? Oh yes, it's fucking fake. You can see Finn Balor talking to JD McDonough saying, hey, what do you think the script is gonna be? Is this how we're gonna do it? And JD's like, yeah, that's exactly how we're gonna do it, man. We're gonna actually kick you out the Judgment Day. Hope the story goes great for you, man. As a single wrestler, I feel like it'll be cool for you to be a single wrestler or solo wrestler again. Yeah, like when they're talking, they're not talking as part of the storyline. They're talking about the script. That's why you can't hear them. I bet people, like the fans, can like hear them a bit and they're like, oh, I know what they're gonna do. I know how the story's gonna be. Because adults, they know their shit. There's more adults at the WWE arena than kids. So any kids watching, shut your dick ass mouth. And I know I said dick, but shut the fuck up. And like, for real, realize that WWE is not real. It's fake. All fake. Yes, there's blood. That's real. Yes, some of the things aren't PG. Well, they want to get a mix of it. I mean, that's why it's called PG. It's parental guidance. So I get people are like, they shouldn't add it, but the parents are there to watch it. The adults are there. I'm not saying you guys that are kids in the chat. I'm just saying some kids out there are gonna be on TikTok bitching about, oh, how WWE is not fake and that I should shut my bloody mouth. Oh, I'm not gonna shut my bloody mouth. You gotta realize that WWE is fake. Movies are fake. People are like gonna roast me saying, oh, but I hope you know that movies are fake too. You know the movies you watch, they're fake too. Have you not noticed that? Oh, I know that. Not notice, I know that they're fake. So pretty much I knew that they were fake before you like think of a roast. Man, kids have low IQ. I've been having higher IQ. I've been having higher IQ since I was younger till now, and I'm still looking young and sexy as hell. So any adults watching, I salute you all. Y'all know. Y'all have that higher prefrontal cortex. No wonder why people make dumbass decisions when they're kids playing The Walking Dead. I feel like adults, they know what decisions they're making. Stealing? Oh. Guess what? I stole in The Walking Dead. I don't give a shit. The kidnapper is a pedophile and he wants to fuck Clem pussy. Yeah, she's only a little kid. She only has a tiny one. You fucking pervert wanting to bleed her out. Fucking pervert. Go suck some dick for once in your life. Fucking Herbert the pervert. Anyway. What was I mentioning? Oh yeah. Yeah, unlimited sequels. Anyway, as I specifically mentioned about Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Tim Sweeney, and Tim Cook. As I especially mentioned about Donald Trump, shout goes to Donald Trump. Shout goes to Donald Trump for bombing Iran. He should bomb Iran again and kill the sun. No offense to any Muslims out there, but I fucking hate Muslims. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a Christian, and I'm a hardcore Christian. Not for religion, but for God Almighty Jesus Christ. I love you, God. When we meet, we're gonna be kissing, no homo, and we're gonna be hugging. Actually, fuck the no homo. That's childish bullshit. Kissing is not gay shit or homosexual shit. We mean like kiss on the lip, like I miss him. He's my father, and he's a father to all. I love God, my Jesus Christ. Anyway, as I specifically mentioned about Barack Obama, shout out goes to you, but you're still a dick. You're not a nigger, though. You're a nigga. Shout out goes to Joe Biden. As I specifically mentioned about Joe Biden, shout out goes to him for some of the great changes he made. Fuck the inflation, so fuck you, Biden, with your dementia head looking ass motherfucker. As I specifically mentioned about Kamala Harris, that pedophile baby killer. Yeah, she's a pervert, not for sexually harming children, but hurting little babies by wanting free will of abortion. No, you make exceptions if someone were an incest pedophile and a rapist. Why are you all thinking like why I'm mentioning incest pedophiles? Because typically when people have incest with their siblings or children, typically they're pedophiles because they want to do it with little kids, not adults. Like they wouldn't wait until the child's 18. They just want to teach them. They're like, oh, I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna physically do it. Y'all realize that they can back away from the talk and they don't want a sex talk. They'll do it their own way. Why do you think I was watching porn when I was like 15 years old or 16 years old? Well, that's not the reason. My parents never had a talk with me about it, and that can actually mentally harm you because you were eager to know about it. Because I knew about it, I watched porn. Jokes on you, I still watch porn to this day. Am I addicted to porn? Well, I masturbate when it comes to porn. Back then, I just watched porn without jerking off and play with my lovely, sexy dick. Any adults watching, you know what I mean by that? Any kids? I'm just making jokes, so. When you get older, you'll know. Even RJ is like, oh, I'm too young to have that. Because he doesn't know what a blowjob is and a hand job. Oh yeah, I may play Roblox with RJ, so if I do want to, I would, but fuck man, I want to complete this game. But when I'm at my dad's place, would I complete it? Like I mentioned, I would. But there's times where I'm like, I already completed this game, do I have to complete it again? Hey, it's all for the viewers, so I'm obviously going to complete it for you all. Why do you think I was playing The Walking Dead Season 1 at my dad's place, and gonna play Season 2 at my mom's place? I mean, I should, because I'm still in episode 3. Actually, even at my mom's place, I'm still in episode 3, but I'm a bit ahead. I'm in this scene where I'm like towards the train, scouting the train out and shit. Anyway, as I specifically mentioned about, Hillary Clinton, fuck her. Fuck that bitch. Thank goodness Trump was elected against, like he was elected and won against, Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. Unfortunately not Joe Biden. Well, if he did, he wouldn't have run. That would mean like another guy would run against Kamala Harris if Trump were to win that election. And people are like, oh, if a person runs for president, that means that the term that would consider a term for them. Hey, you want to know something? I feel like back then there was a time like if you ran for president, the term would count. But nowadays, if you run for president, the term wouldn't have count. Only if you were inaugurated, the term would count. Because Eli was mentioning if you run for president, then the term would be considered like your first term, like whether you ran for president or were inaugurated. Actually, it's more of like inauguration, not when you run for president. So let's say, for example, I ran for president at 48 and I lost the election. I would be in my 50s wanting to run for president just because I lost it, you know. And it will still be a first term. Like, what if someone ran for president twice, but never got inaugurated? Their terms have not been counted because they were never inaugurated. But why would they lose twice, you know? Come on. Unless they did some pedophile shit. Like, for example, they wanted to lower the age of consent to, like, 11 years old. Possibly in the future centuries they would, but now I prefer that kids don't have sex. Or even learn about sex. Well, they could age appropriately, but though, if you're like a 5-year-old or 6-year-old, you would possibly learn about your pussy, or like what a pussy is, and if you're a boy, what a dick is. You'll learn about all about that. You'll learn about the body parts. As you get a bit older, you're gonna wonder, where do babies occur from, or like how do I have siblings, or how do they occur, or how do we occur? You wouldn't learn about, oh, the dick goes what's in the pussy unless you're like 11 years old. You can know about that shit. Well, in season 2, Clem wouldn't have know what sex is. So each individual have their own interpretation on when it's reasonable to have a sex talk. Me personally, I would have a sex talk when my child is ready. So possibly like 6 or 7. Any kids out there, don't say that shit. It's annoying as fuck. Irritating as fuck, actually. I don't even mention it. I only mention like 6, 7 as like number wise. I don't say 6, 7. No, I don't say that. That's like childish shit. Even teenagers mention it. I'm like, yeah. If I were a kid, I would possibly stop if I was a teenager. What's in this generation? If I was like a Gen Alpha, for example. Gen Beta occurred last year, so it's the second year where it's still a thing. And people mention all the way until the next century. Damn, like Gen Beta is gonna be like a long-lasting shit. Any Gen Beta children, well, I can't say if you're watching because really you would be 1 year old with a small-ass brain. But 11 years later, if you watch the stream, I salute you. And I bet if they're like 11 years old, if they're like 11 years old, if they're like 11 years old, like, what's 11 years later? 2026? No, 2037. So I would be like, what, 32? Yeah, I'll be 32. So when I'm 32 and you're like 11 and you watch my stream, any boys or girls, you're like, wow, thank you, appreciate you for saluting our generation. We would know for sure that we're not gonna be some spoiled brats. Well, you better not. Any 11 years later. Wait, is that for real? Hold on, what's 2026 plus 11? I wanna know. Oh yeah, shout out, appreciate you all for exactly 563 subs. Shout out goes to you all. 2026 plus 11. I was right, 2037. See, I knew. Not just know. I do know, but pretty much I knew. Like no channel. So pretty much I know, but I knew, you know. Like no channel. Anyway, back to business. As I specifically mentioned about myself being a WWE wrestler and just overall about WWE, Triple H is doing a great job. He is older. I feel like any youngins are like, fuck Triple H, why are you doing all that shit? Some youngins out there. If I was a youngin and I hated him, possibly when I'm like in my 30s, or even now actually, I wouldn't hate him. I mean, yeah, I'm a youngin, but like, not too young. I feel like teenagers and kids are like, fuck Triple H, he's a bitch. When you don't realize what Triple H has done. Like, if people want to talk shit about CEOs, realize that they've done plenty to, you know, build up this company. Like, am I gonna go to Tim Sweeney or Nick Khan or Neil Druckmann and yell at their face saying, "Fuck you, Nick Khan. Why you make WWE PG? I love some sexual shit." And Nick Khan's like, "Whoa, there's kids watching. Even back then they watch. Why would I make it MA? Come on. If I wanted to make it TV-14, sure, but kids will have to be aware that some of the things aren't going to be on there to make it family friendly." And I'll be like, "Yeah, you're right, Nick Khan, and I'm right as well. I just have to know for a fact that you have a point, and I would have a point as well." Or go to Tim Sweeney saying, "Fortnite is so toxic. Fuck you, Tim Sweeney. Fuck the story and all that. Fortnite is not what it used to be." And Tim Sweeney's like, "You're saying Fortnite is not what it used to be? Man, as time goes on, plenty of things are advanced and shit." Or if I yell at Neil Druckmann saying, "Fuck you for ending Uncharted. I love Uncharted." Or excuse me, I like Uncharted. And he's like, "Hey man, I am the owner. If you're the owner, you can make the decision, but I want to focus on other games. Uncharted would never end, but we just want to move on to other games." And I'm like, "Yeah, you have a point. I don't want to yell at you." So it's best to not yell at life experience people. I have life experience, so why would I yell at them, you know? Let us that's just the whole point, why I overthink about, how Tim Sweeney's greedy and all that shit. Why would he be greedy? The company's meant to be a billionaire company because of how much it has evolved. Bro, he started that company at 20. Yeah, I get it. Not much life experience. But as time goes on, he gained those life experience. So really, I gotta mention to Tim Sweeney, how did you build up this company? Hey, shout out goes to you, Donald Muster. You retired. You my man. Yeah, Donald Muster retired, man. He is old. Or possibly because he wants to spend time with his family. There's multiple reasons why people retire. But if if you have no health issues and you retire, what's the fucking point of retiring if you have no health issues or anything and you're like look at R-Truth. He is thriving. He's doing great within WWE. That would be me actually, because I would consider medical advancement. I would consider biological immortality and biological indestructibility. As I specifically mentioned about that as well. As I specifically mentioned about myself being an astronaut and just overall being an astronaut, I'm going to actually mention something about being an astronaut as well and what is challenging about that, unless I did last live stream. And I did not stream yesterday, I know that. I streamed 2 days ago. And why did I end The Walking Dead? Oh, because I wanted to watch it. I wanted to watch it on YouTube Plus because I had to head to bed that time, whenever. So that's why I ended it. But shit, my siblings have school, bro. If that had spring break, that would be cool because I don't have to worry about them waking up. I could just stream oh my gosh. Because if I had my own place, I would stream all the way until what time? 10, 11. I wish I never get tired. I mean, I never get tired, but my head hurts, and that's when I have to head to bed. Let's see if I can manage it at my own place. The whole point, I sleep a bit early because I have a mom. Anyway, as I specifically mentioned about myself being an astronaut and just overall about the astronaut mission, just towards Luna, Mars, Jupiter moons, Saturn moons, and actually, unfortunately, a trip to Venus, Mercury, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are going to be in the next century, not 2070s. So pretty much, after all the missions, I would take a break from being an astronaut. I'll be a veteran. I'll possibly be an administrator, send astronauts to previous planets like Mars, Jupiter moons, Saturn moons, back to Titan, back to Callisto, back to Mars, back to Luna. So pretty much to those. Would it get boring for them? No, because, but it would be much immediate. It wouldn't take months to head to Mars. For now, it would, because I would understand why. But if that were to be a possibility where I don't have to be there for that long, then, hey, I wouldn't care when I can run for president, or wouldn't necessarily care, if I were on Mars for 3 years, or just for, hours, or, the days or weeks. Let us know anyway. As I specifically mentioned about all my family members, speaking of that, about my grandpa, it was great. He did mention why didn't you had a chance to put Vaseline 2 days ago, pretty much Sunday, and I'm like, because my hands are recovering, but they're recovering more, so I feel like he wants it where my skins aren't dry like crazy. So I'm gonna put Vaseline later today, but then shit, I need to wear gloves because that's where it moist up my hands. It's all about wearing it every day. lotion. But why does people wear gloves? It's not because, oh, your hands are greasy from like the front of your hand because you were using it to put lotion, like to scrub it around or rub it around. What's in your left and right hand? But no, it actually, and a bit of your arm if it's dry, like your wrist, which is like what your hands connected to, and a majority of it is your arm. Anyway, but no, it's to ensure your hands are moist up, not because it's greasy and if you touch something it will grease that up. No, it's not the reason. Anyway, as I specifically mentioned about my dry hand, about, like I mentioned, my whole family members, as I specifically mentioned about all the biological shit, or excuse me, not biological shit, as I specifically mentioned about the biological immortality and biological indestructibility and what I mentioned about that, as I specifically mentioned about as I specifically mentioned about all the biblical shit, as I specifically mentioned about all the aging laws, as I specifically mentioned about the multiple meanings of the word minor, like how one could mean like if you're underage, your parents will have to make the decisions for you, or they would have to be guarding, ensuring you're safe until you're legally an adult, 18 plus. Some states 21 plus or 19 plus. I prefer 18 plus though, because I feel like my children would want that freedom. If it was 21 plus, they would be so pissed. If it's drinking, then they would understand. Unless it's 18 plus during that time, who knows? Whatever the government prefers and what they can choose. For now, it's 21, and guess what? I'm 21, so I can drink, I can gamble. Don't have to necessarily gamble like the first day, so I feel like when you are 21, you're not gonna be like, ooh, I wanna gamble, I'm so desperate for gambling. Then they're pretty much greedy. If you're not greedy and you're generous, meaning you don't have to worry about gambling, you can do it any time you would consider. And yes, there is casinos in San Diego. Speaking of that, as I specifically mentioned about San Diego, gonna head there next year or later this year. And like I mentioned, if I am out to San Diego and you all notice, or certain of you notice that I haven't been streaming, please do not unsub. Please be my sub. You know how Mind the Rez, speaking of that, as I specifically mentioned about him, if I have mentioned about him before or whatever, as I specifically mentioned about the Kochana family, Hussein, Nanoff Nelsons, and Jafin Kuska, shout out goes to you all. As I specifically mentioned about ISO Speed and Mr. Beast, because they'll like lead my own private space agency, especially SpaceX. But as well, shout out goes to ISO Speed for like streaming The Walking Dead. It's very cool. But yeah, you remember how I mentioned about so like Mind the Rez, he took a break and all the people were still his subs. They were like very patient. So be patient if I'm on vacation. I would post all of that on social media, possibly TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And if y'all add me on there, shit, you'll see all the shit. You'll be like, oh, that's why he hasn't been streaming. And actually, I was at San Diego before and I wasn't streaming for like a while. I didn't check how long I was out. I feel like I'm gonna do that once I'm like back, or I can check on my phone. I may possibly have the 18 Pro Max. I feel like I'm gonna get that, cause I'm gonna keep this phone for like 5 months, because I can just get like a charger if I don't want. Cause the only thing I hate about this phone, well, I am grateful, but is like, excuse me, is like charging wise, like how the battery drains constantly, and I hate charging my phone. I hate connecting a charger. Hey, what if the iPhone 18 Pro Max have that shit, you know? But my battery doesn't drain like crazy. I hope not, please. Possibly if I have it for years, it's gonna do that, but I hope not, and I hope it's not like that. But I'm possibly gonna be like those individuals where each year I'll get a new iPhone. So I would have it for a year, great, and then I'll get another iPhone. Or do you want me to just do like every 3 years to get a new iPhone? So if the 19 is next year, 20 is 2028, 21 is 2029, I'll get the iPhone 21. Because what if they're all the same and it's just more advanced and upgraded? We'll see, we'll see. But this year I'm getting the iPhone 18, 17 no, I'm definitely not. I know other people have it, but hey, that's because they wanted an upgrade. Or because you have to upgrade if you want to, but if you're cool with your phone, then hey, you know. It's not being greedy. I feel like it's greedy if you didn't get your kids the newest one and you got them like an older one. Well, I mean, hey, I have a used iPhone, so not all my family have the newest iPhone, so it's more of like they're not greedy. They're just ensuring that I just have an iPhone that they can afford. And bro, I remember I was gonna get an iPhone 13. It seemed like I was gonna cry, but I wasn't. Cause why would I cry? Come on. If you're an adult, why would you be like, but I want the white one? Okay, they're all the same shit. Okay, I'm gonna look at my iPhone. It's dark. Like the color is dark. Like the back of the phone. It is dirty though. Like the case, I like it, but it gets damaged over time. I've been having it for like what, 3 years, especially the iPhone. I'm gonna make an upgrade to like an 18 Pro Max, trade it in, and they can do the transferring. And the iPhone is dead. Whoever wants it, hey, you can have it, but it's gonna drain. So if you don't want it, it's all good. That's when they can recycle it. But then if they have other iPhone 13s that functions and doesn't drain like crazy, like not all iPhones are like that. iPhone 13s. So really, when you're an adult, you don't become spoiled. Yeah, you have your own money, so you could be like, hey, I have freedom. So I'm gonna teach my kids that they can't. I can't spoil them. Would I say yes to everything? Woo! To sweets, yeah. But I'm gonna make a cheat day for them because even kids can either have type 2 diabetes potentially, or have health risk at a very young age. So I'm possibly gonna make a cheat day. But because they're young, people are gonna say they're too young. They're kids. They're good. They can have sweets. They're only kids. Let them have sweets, you know. But then once you're adults, you gotta manage that shit. That's why I'm gonna keep the beard, because I want to prove that I'm an adult. Obviously, I am adult. If I shave my beard, it's gonna grow. Can you permanently get rid of it? I'm possibly not. I'm possibly never gonna get rid of it permanently. It typically depends on what shaving cream you use and how long it takes to grow. If it takes a long while and it's very slow, then you know. Oh, plus I gotta take a shower tomorrow. Actually, no, Wednesday. Should I take a shower Wednesday? Bro, that'll be like what? How many days? 10 days? Sheesh. Hey, I'm a clean guy. Anyway, as I specifically mentioned about my homie Farhan Azara and John Azara, which are my homies, my twin, the Azara twins are like my homies. As I specifically mentioned about my ex-wife Amber, fuck her, she's a hoe. As I specifically mentioned about my wife Piper. I remember I mentioned before 2 weeks ago, it was at my mom's place that, oh, I'm gonna get a blonde girl or whatever. But I got a girl because she was texting me for whatever reason. She was mentioning shit about how her ex cheated on her, and I'm like, yeah, fuck that nigger. And hey, I'm with her. I be sending nudes. She does not care. She is the one. She's not like my ex, where she's like, but I don't want to send my nudes. Yeah, fuck her. She's a pussy. I'm not forcing her. I'm just asking. You do realize that can fuck up your mentality or your mental health if you don't send nudes? If a girl sends nudes and you want to see their pussy and titties, let them, if they're not underage. She is 17 though, but because of the Romeo and Juliet, she could send nudes. I feel like Romeo and Juliet should align with all the shit. Like sending nudes, getting married. But I'm gonna marry her when she's 22 because, you know, why not? Might as well. Because she's only a teenager. She's still in her late teens. Even though she's legally an adult, that just means that it helps her progresses. And once she's in her 20s, she'll be like, okay, now I know who to vote for. Like me, Joe Biden is a great president. Barack Obama is. Just that. Like Elon Musk. Yeah, I can hate his ass. I cannot hate his ass. I can hate his ass. I cannot hate his ass. It's just like I overthink it, and I'm like, why did he want to nuke Mars? Would it work, you know? But don't nuke Mars. I mean, I want to see more details on the colonization of Mars. And terraforming takes thousands of years. Colonization takes hundreds to like 50s of years. So when it's like fully colonized, who knows how that's gonna be? You can't like drive in the dome. I feel like it's just more room to walk within. But who knows? Elon Musk knows his shit. I do as well. I just want to see what it's like. You know, let us know anyway. What else? As I specifically mentioned about my therapist, as I specifically mentioned about my homie King K. Craig, as I specifically mentioned about my homie Tyler Whiteside, as I specifically mentioned about my homie Dakota Bino, as I specifically mentioned about the biological kids, from my wife Piper, as I specifically mentioned about the adopted kids, 2 this year, gonna hide them, gonna hide our first child Lily, gonna show them on my channel, but make it where like those in my family can't witness it, because I want to show Lily, you know, so as she grows, you know, she can enjoy, because I have to hide her, you know. Because I don't like when my family judges. They are too ancient, pretty much. Because pretty much in the ancient era, you can't have sex until you have a wedding. Very fucked up. God Almighty Jesus Christ wouldn't really care if, you know. So, that's why modern era people have sex before having a wedding. When I mean by married, I mean like a wedding. But obviously her and I are married, so God Almighty Jesus Christ. Pretty much we are married, obviously. That's why she's my wife. Anyway. 2 other adopted kids, which makes 4, adds a total of how many kids I'm gonna have, whether, you know, biological and adopted, you know, well, obviously biological and adopted. The 2 of them will be when I'm 26, so once I have the wedding, I'll reveal those 2 whenever I adopt them. They really shouldn't care, because, like, I have a white cousin. Yeah, because they're not blood. Okay, is my cousin blood? What if she's not? What if it's just for the love, you know? But they're adopted, so that's the thing. They're gonna be like, they don't look like your kids, and I'm like, yeah, that's the point. I feel like some individuals in my family would care. That's why I'm gonna discuss about, like, me adopting kids to, like, certain of my family members before I'm 26, because if I adopt them immediately, which I am this year, but I'm gonna keep them a secret, then that's where they're gonna judge, they're gonna be like, what the fuck, why would he do that? Which they would have to realize. My grandparents, would they care? Hey, what if in Iraq you can adopt children? I feel like you could, because they're all from Iraq. Because, like, my grandpa, I love him personally. All he mentioned is about the Vaseline. He was mentioning, like, your hands are dry, be sure to put them. I put them today. He was happy. He was like, great job, man. Or not today, yesterday, excuse me. So I feel like he just wants to ensure that, because he wants me to see a dermatologist. I would understand why he's mentioning that. He wants to see if I have eczema. Do I have eczema? No, but I want to mention to them and see what the dermatologists have to mention. Because my grandpa is quite confused. He's like, do you have eczema? Do you not? Because they're like, why are your hands dry like that? And he mentioned because if you use cold water, it would do that shit. I feel like that could be the reason, but hey, because as it gets warmer, it, like, decreases the chance of it drying more. But when it's winter, he's gonna want me to use warm water. So when I have my own plates, I'm gonna use warm and cold water. Put them at 2, because hot and cold makes warm. Hot is just hot, cold is just cold. Hot is like heat, cold is like frigid, meaning like if it's solo, individually. If you mix hot and cold, it makes warm. If you mix cold and hot, it makes cool. Well, I feel like it would just be warm because, you know, but it's because of the gas. It's like the furnace or whatever that makes it where it's like warm, and you're like, but water is meant to be cold. It's not water for like from like the ocean. Well, I mean, the water had to be overall there, like, somehow, or overall, you know, let us know. Anyway, as I specifically mentioned about, yeah, like I mentioned, the Karshana family, Hussein, Not Enough Nelsons, Jay from the Cub Scouts, and Mind the Rez. Shout out goes to Mind the Rez, bro. You're my nigga, bro. I've been watching him for like a decade. Or like since a decade, you know, let us, you know, like the late decade of, you know, last decade, you know, let us, you know, anyway. Yeah, as I specifically mentioned about my therapist, as I specifically mentioned about AZ and my homie, Andrew. Andrew is asleep. He was gonna share plays Beyond Two Souls, but it's all good. Him and I were gonna watch Unreal, but it's all good. Tomorrow, I would watch it. After my therapy session, I would watch Unreal with Andrew. I gotta, come on. and I'm gonna stream it. I haven't finished Monday Night Raw, so possibly before I even end this to play season 2, I'll possibly watch Monday Night Raw real quick and see what the whole shit is about. If Roman Reigns not there, I don't blame him. I want to see Roman Reigns actions, but hey, he has leukemia, and I feel like that's why he's a part-timer. People want to talk shit about him. Fuck them for those who talk shit about him. Because actually, a lot of adults are agreeing with me on Facebook. I feel like Facebook, there's less bullies than TikTok and Instagram. People are like so teenagers. They're like kids and all that. They think they know the answers, but they don't. But if it's an adult arguing with me, then they're a dumbass. I'm gonna be honest. And if someone is very old and they have dementia, they can be an atheist because how their mind is, and they will talk shit about Christianity without realizing it. Because I had to encounter that with someone on Facebook, and I'm like, you can deal with that at certain times because even old people use it. That's why people are like, old people use Facebook, and I'm like, bro, Facebook was created this century, not last century. I understand because it's more of an adult shit. Well, no, teenagers can use it, but why do adults use it more? I feel like because a lot of adults that are predators are targeting minors, like younger minors. I'm with a minor, but she's 17. She's about to be 18. So I would refer to her as an adult. So if I want to take her to drink, I mentioned to her she can have a mocktail, or I could sneak a cocktail to her. But because she has diabetes, I'll get her a mocktail, and I'll have a cocktail. It typically depends on the bar you're at. I'm gonna make her drink it. But because she's 17, I gotta be aware because she is underage. But drinking though, when it comes to drinking, underage is still like 21, you know. You're not a minor. People refer to it as a minor. No, it's just that legally you gotta be 21. And I'm 21. I love that. I'm proud of that. I'm like, wow, I'm at this point, you know. I have an ID, I can carry it. And yes, I did research, you do need IDs. Anyway, as I specifically mentioned about my dad and my homie Agron, my dad and my lady friend Helen, I met her through my dad. I have not witnessed her much, but she's very busy, just like my dad and I homie Agron. Bro, whenever I'm at my mom's place, he's typically with my dad. Like, he hangs out, like Friday, or not Friday, Thursday to Saturday or Friday or whatever. But when I'm like at my dad's place, sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. But typically, I'll be using the bathroom when he's there, or I would, like be like upstairs or something, just doing my laundry or whatever, or having my alone moment of whatever, you know. Let us, you know, when it comes to like me, but I have to be gaming. So when he's like here, he's like, "What's good, nephew?" I mean, he refers to me as his nephew because he doesn't have kids, so he refers to me as one because he knew me when I was a kid. That's the whole point. Oh my gosh, my foot is numb. I feel like blood is not reaching the foot and leg. I'm gonna set it there. Oh my gosh, my leg is numb. My foot is numb. Bro, it's 2:20. I gotta hurry, bro. Oh. So like for something chat, I gotta head to bed. So if I don't complete the whole game, I'm not gonna be like I should speak. Well, I wish. If I had my own place, I would. I'll still be awake. And Piper doesn't care if I'm loud if I'm gaming. And yes, she does sleep very easily because, or she gets tired very easily. She's not like my ex. Sometimes she sleeps early and then she wakes up very late. I like that. I love that actually. She's not like my ex where she's like, you know. Cause I'm gonna mention the Piper. What would it be like if you never sleep? You never get tired. You would not die from sleeping because you're biologically immortal and indestructible. She'll be like, I would love that. Anyway, as I specifically mentioned about my dad's cousin Alan, not AZ, but like my dad's cousin Alan, which is like my uncle Alan. As I specifically mentioned about my dry hands. And yeah, as I specifically mentioned about all that shit, you know, with some of my recent license chat. As I specifically mentioned about all that shit, you know, with some of my last live stream chat, or whatever I mentioned last live stream, you know, later, you know, and whatever I didn't mention last live stream, as I specifically mentioned about all that shit, you know. as I'm gonna specifically mention about all that shit, later, and as I'm gonna specifically mention, and as I'm gonna specifically continue to chat about all that shit, later, but yeah, as I specifically mentioned about all that shit, later, like within this current live stream chat, like within this current live stream chat, and what I could possibly mention about all that shit, again as well, with my future live stream, obviously chat, later, anyway. But yeah, that was plenty of shit I mentioned about. Oh my gosh. Anyway, chat, without further ado, let's get straight to shit once for all, later, anyway. But yeah, Elon Musk, he's chill. I'm possibly gonna collab with him. Tim Sweeney, possibly collab with him when it comes to Epic Games, like managing Fortnite. Epic Games own Fortnite. There's no such thing of the term owner of Fortnite. Tim Sweeney owns all the games that he has created within his company, Epic Games. As I specifically, for Tim Cook, great iPhones. Like I mentioned, chat, I'm gonna get the the iPhone 18 Pro Max. See how that's gonna possibly be. For Bill Gates, shout out goes to him for creating all the Xbox. It's all good if he doesn't create much. Just like how there's each PlayStation sequel, all good, let us know. And for Mark Zuckerberg, you should definitely create a Facebook Kids app, just like you created Messenger Kids. Create Facebook Kids for kids specifically, meaning only minors who are kids can use it specifically, and teenagers and adults can be on the original Facebook. So pretty much tweens, half kid, half teenager. They're still kids. Yeah, they're still kids. So pretty much from 5 to 12. I feel like that's a kid, because a tween means half kid, half teenager. So 5 to 12, When does mood swings occur? From 9 to 10, or excuse me, 9 to 12. And it gets severe when you're... Actually, no. 9 to 14. So from, being a tween to being a teenager. Because Chill Phoenix, he's 15. And does he, have mood swings? Possibly mild mood swings. It still occurs until you're done with puberty, Let us know. So anyway. He possibly wants more freedom. He wants to vape at a younger age. He wants to drink at a younger age. He wants to smoke and all that shit. Would I allow my kids? No. I'm going to mention to them the reason why. They're not going to understand, but they'll know why. I understand why drinking at a young age is fucked up, and smoking and, well, I smoked last year. It's all good. Or well, I vaped at 18, so it's all good. But I drink at 16, but it's close to 18, so all good. Let us know. Anyway. I'm gonna continue, but before I continue, chat, I'm gonna mute myself for quite a bit and just be AFK real quick. Let us know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna see how many episodes I'm gonna complete. Otherwise, I'll possibly complete this, and then I'm gonna call RJ, see if he's awake, so I can play Roblox with him. Do I have Roblox? Let me see. Oh, I'm on PS4, so you won't be able to hear me. Anyway, hold up. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I feel like when I text someone. Okay, I'm gonna download the Roblox, re-download it. Cause I have to delete it for storage wise. Okay. Might as well play Roblox. Released 3 years ago. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, it's cool that they released on console. I actually like it. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, it's cool that they released on console. Yeah, I feel like if I text someone, it would remain silent. I'm gonna call RJ after this episode. Let me enjoy my moment. Just playing this game. Did I say no? Anyway. Who texts or who mentioned something in the chat? You guys good? Jesse, how you feeling about that? AZ will typically spam. I wonder why. He doesn't have ADHD. But I wonder why he spams if he doesn't have ADHD. Who knows? I can mention to him, like, why do you spam in the chat? I mean, it doesn't hurt to mention to him. He won't get offended. I'm just questioning, like, the reason why. But he did mention that he has bad memory, so possibly he doesn't want to forget what he's going to mention in the chat, so... Even if I get irritated and I'm like... oh, I figure it's him... Or, like, I would laugh. Like, I would be like... Yo, it was good AZ, or how I... Like, the reason I mentioned that is because he spams in the chat. I'm like, I figured it was you. But, yeah, I still love him. He's my homie. And he mentioned that he wants to get to know who my homie Farhan is before he can have, Farhan's number. Because AZ has my number. He trusts me. But, yeah, he gave it to me immediately. Like, after, like, a year. But he knew Farhan, like, when he was in my stream last year. I wonder why. Who knows? Like, you know? Anyway. And I tell you, like I mentioned, I'm going to be AFK for quite a bit, so be sure to skip to part 1. I'm not AFK real quick, you know? Let us know, you know? Anyway. Hi chat, I am back. Let us know. Anyway, again chat, for real though, without further ado, let's get straight to the shit once and for all, you know. Let us know. Anyway, let's for real fucking get straight to the shit. Anyway, let's see where I left off. Then like 4:20 I'm gonna head to bed. Because my siblings have school, so I'll play like majority of this game like later today. But I'm gonna do share play for Andrew, so we'll see. Oh yeah, before I end this I have to watch Monday Night Raw. Almost quite done, so we'll see if I'll be able to play with RJ or not. Because I want to mention a couple things to RJ. Here, I'm gonna mention to him. You down the call just real quick?
The truth is.
Okay, I texted RJ. If I'm not able to complete this whole game, hey, all good. Yeah, cause I'm gonna mention to him about the brain development and about the 7+ shit. Oh yeah, I wanna mention to him that full mental maturity. So you remember how I mentioned to you about the full mental maturity shit and I'm gonna mention to him, you remember how I mentioned to you about the full mental maturity shit, the brain formation and when it's fully developed and all that? Yeah, I gotta mention to him, man. I gotta get this off my chest. If you don't, then it's you can't hold it in. Come on. Possibly like once we're at the part, like if I kill Duck off, that's when I'm gonna end it. Cause I don't want to just end it. I just started streaming.
Is there any way to get around it?
Doesn't look like it. On foot, maybe. Can't really afford to do that.
Come on, bro.
Seems like a safe area. This brush will stop anything creeping up on us.
Hold on, AZ has called me. I'm gonna make an exception for that because I've been doing all the talking. Gotta give him a chance. Yo, what's good?
Yo, what's good? I was watching your stream.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
What's it called? Were you busy watching WWE? Because I know there's Monday Night Raw.
Earlier, yeah. I haven't finished it, but I'm gonna finish it in a bit.
Oh, because you said we're gonna roleplay tomorrow, so I don't know if you have time tomorrow.
No, I do. It's like halfway done. Like I can even take a screenshot, or not screenshot, a picture of where I left off.
Oh, you can do it?
Yeah. Once I get finished with this episode, I'm gonna watch it for a bit while I'm in a call with one of my younger subs and what's it called?
Because when are we gonna roleplay? 10 p.m. your time?
Yeah, or whenever my homie's asleep, cause he fell asleep a bit early.
Okay. Just to let you know, just to remind you that on Wednesday I'll be busy.
Yeah, I know that. You're gonna be working with the boss you know.
Yeah. But he's arrogant. He doesn't want to have
Still?
my Sunday day off.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't understand.
Alright.
Yeah. But why does he have to be arrogant?
Alright.
Yeah. Yeah, but the point is, I'm trying to convince him if I can get Sunday off. Because a lot of my church friends, even my Bible study group, doesn't want me to, like, give up, church.
Exactly.
my friend Curtis, you know Curtis, right?
Yeah.
He was around and he says, I want to punch your boss.
Wow.
No. Yeah.
I mean, if it's self-defense, but obviously he's joking, so.
Yeah. No, it's not self-defense. He just wanted, like, he was arrogant and he wants to punch people who are arrogant.
No, I meant like if the boss like hit you. I was giving an example. Then you would punch him back. But obviously he was jokingly making a joke, like a joke threat, meaning like it was not for real, but it's a joke threat.
Yeah. But why can I have like Friday day off and then like have Friday and Sunday day off?
It's illegal to never give your employees day offs.
No, they are giving me day off. It's on Tuesday and Wednesday. But I prefer working on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I could literally get Friday and...
Exactly. You should negotiate.
But they were not willing to negotiate with me.
Then that's arrogant. That's like see, that's why in my perspective, I feel like that's why we have older CEOs, because they don't become arrogant. Because I did research on, like, for example, Tim Sweeney. Like he didn't fire Donna Mustard. That was a rumor. And like he started at the age of 20. Yeah, I get it. You shouldn't start that early. But like he gained the life experience as he like mentally grow. And like Bill Gates, he started at age 20 or something, and he knew how to make Xbox great, just like how the leader of Sony knew how to make PlayStation great. Or like Mark Zuckerberg, he knew how to make sure there's nothing just inappropriate overall or anything, like make it more for adults Facebook, or you know what I mean. Or like Elon Musk, like he's not gonna just blow up, like people accuse him of blowing up the rocket ship, but obviously it's because there's young teams and he's willing to hire experienced teams or engineers, unless they didn't know, like, because I mentioned to my viewers possibly they didn't know. But anyway, these are examples of like why we need like older boss. But if it's like if they're young, then obviously their parent has taught them the value of work. Possibly his parent didn't taught him the value of work, and whether his parent.
Manager is literally 30 years old, and he's still arrogant.
That's when, because I did research, when the brain is actually fully developed. Some said it's 25, and then it mentions in your early 30s. So if he's 30 and he's gained that mentality development and the brain development, then clearly his parent had. Because I did research, it says before your brain is fully developed, despite you having full mental maturity and your parent didn't raise you right, it can impact the chemistry in your brain, and that's what leading him to sin more than to sin less. Or like end sinning. So that's why he's arrogant, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because if it was my kids and they're in their 30s, or like 30 specifically, they'll be like, I value my life for this company. My father, Mike Bahri, he wanted to be a CEO of Epic Game. He was wondering if Tim Sweeney's arrogant, but once he delved some research and see if he's not greedy, he knew that Tim Sweeney is a reasonable guy, an example of Fortnite. Because a lot of people, I'm not saying like you specifically, obviously know that it's Epic. It can be young teams that's making Fortnite players talk all that, which obviously because there's a lot of minors and anyway. The point is, my kids will possibly be like to newer generations that Mike Bahri is leading Epic Games with Tim Sweeney. Once Tim Sweeney retires, he's possibly gonna take over Epic Games and lead Epic Game as an example.
Yeah.
Like, see, like even I know how the company works, even though I'm in my early 20s. Like I can have there's some people out there that can have full mental maturity before their brain is fully developed physically. Yeah, at either 25 or 30.
Yeah.
So I feel like his brain chemistry has an imbalance that's leading him to sin more and being arrogant, or that his parent was a bad influence on him to make him be like this, to make him be stubborn before, like at a young age, till this day, he's still like this,
Yeah.
Thank goodness he gave you some day off, but not the day offs you want, because I feel like it should be illegal as well, to where the boss can choose the day off for you. I feel like the employee has a right in the U.S. because we're in the U.S. Thank goodness.
They should allow the employee to pick the day.
Exactly. See, now we understand. You know, we have a great chemistry, meaning like our brains in sync. Like we understand.
Great chemistry. That sounded weird. When it comes to people saying chemistry, like when it comes to boy and girl.
No, yeah, I don't mean like that. I meant like brain psychology. I meant great brain psychology.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope I didn't misunderstood you in the interpretation.
Yeah, it sounded weird when you say that.
Well. And there's actually multiple meanings. I get that you may know that there's one meaning, but in WWE they refer to chemistry as in like work ethic. So I'll just use brain psychology. Like we're in sync with our psychology. Like we understand like our beliefs.
Yeah.
My viewers would understand, but if you understand, I'll just use psychology. Cause one time I mentioned to Andy, not like Andrew, my friend, but when I mentioned to him I want to bond, he's like, "You do realize bonding means in romance, not in friendship." And I'm like,
What does that mean, romance?
Then he's wrong, cause I mentioned. Oh, wait, hold up. Did I say bond or?
Hanging out. Bonding means like.
Hold up. What did I mention? I feel like I mentioned bonding, and he thought I was gay.
No.
I feel like because he was too young to understand the meaning. So.
Yeah. So I'm confused. That you asked me for the phone number.
Oh. Yeah, no, because Farhan mentioned because you knew him from stream, but I mentioned to Farhan, I mentioned because AZ knew me, like, back then, and he trusted that I wouldn't share his number without permission, so I mentioned to Farhan, possibly you have to wait for a year or something, or possibly meet him in person if, like, that makes him more comfortable. That's what I mentioned to Farhan. Because you just met him on my stream, and you want to get to know him more, then, you know.
Yeah.
Possibly once he has Fortnite and he has a mic, you can get to know him from there, and then you'd be like, and then once Farhan's like, "Oh, can I have your number?" You're like, because I know who you are and you're very trustworthy. Cause I'm gonna mention to Farhan though, cause sometimes he forgets. I'm gonna mention to him that AZ is very strict on who you give your number to, cause sometimes Farhan shares other people and they get pissed. So I'm gonna mention to Farhan that as an adult you have to like realize that other people because I mentioned to Farhan the reason why people don't share their number is because one, it will reveal their city, and two, you know, there's multiple reasons. But yeah,
Well, why did not call far close?
Wow.
He's too far. You should get closer.
Oh, yeah, exactly. As a joke wise, but anyway, yeah. So what was that church sermon? Was it just specifically about baptize?
Pretty much it mentioned about how God made us humans to be disciples.
Oh, okay. So that was a sermon.
Yeah, pretty much we become disciples, and how we disciple others, and as a follower of Jesus, you know.
Well, pretty much, yeah. God Almighty Jesus Christ will make us disciple, but because He's not physically on Earth, or He could be somewhere, because some people theorize that He can be in secret, and like, you know. But anyway, despite.
People don't understand the multiverse out there.
Yeah, exactly. And what's it called? Yeah, we just because the chosen disciples are like ended. I feel like there's like what, millions or even billions of disciples. Well, those who are righteous. I feel like the righteous ones are the chosen disciples. Those who are wicked.
Yeah, you said you believe that there's multiverse, right? So there's another person that's Mike, right? Who's the pastor.
Well, I feel like that's more of an omniverse, not multiverse. Cause I did research what an omniverse is, and it mentions when it has a copy of yourself, but not like a clone. It's more of like when you go into that reality, that Mike could possibly be a president because he figured out a way to be a president at a young age, or that that Mike is already a teacher at the age of 21 or 22. Pretty much something that I would have done if I would have, but in that like omniverse or multiverse.
Yeah.
So pretty much like it'll be like instead of instead of me gaming, possibly I would be like gameless, meaning like I want to enjoy nature. I'll possibly be like hunt.
Also, can I tell you something?
Yeah, what's that?
Interrupt, but go finish your thought, and then I'll tell you later.
No, I was gonna mention possibly there could be a Mike out there who tames animals. So pretty much like something I would do in the future, but in that timeline I did it now. But that I didn't have a chance to like in this universe, but in that universe I had a chance to do it.
Like how there's different universes out there.
Exactly. Like for example, graphic designing. Like you never had the chance or opportunity. What if in that universe, or like you already had the opportunity to graphic design, or like in that universe you had the opportunity to already be an actor or a billionaire and helping the homeless to be rich too. But yeah, pretty much like something that you would have done now, which you wish you would have done, but in that universe you've already done it pretty much at the age you're at,
Yeah.
But anyway, go on. What were you gonna mention?
I was gonna mention that last Thursday I mentioned to my MC that if time travel is a sin, and they said that you can't play God, like even if you go back in time and prevent it,
I feel like
well, because they're thinking, my MC friends told me, says, if you do go back in time, then it will mess up God's plan. What if God's plan is purposely made Adam and Eve to sin and led to your right now?
I'm gonna be honest towards like their opinion, because they never sin. Adam or Satan is the original one.
So that's what I was telling them. I was trying to convince them to my MC.
Actually, it wasn't God's plan. God never planned Satan to be like this. God never planned Adam and Eve to like. I get it. I get that God, Almighty Jesus Christ or Jesus Himself mentioned, oh you have free will. What He meant by free will, He means like you have the freedom to explore. If you want to head to the tree of knowledge of good and evil, you can witness it from a distance and see Satan from a distance. But if you enter that trap, once you enter it, Satan has full control over you and take advantage of your mind to make you spiritually unconscious. Because remember how I mentioned to you and you were quite curious or confused or whatever, like what I mean by unconscious, like you were wondering if I meant like by passing out. But then when I mentioned spiritual unconsciousness, meaning like they don't have control. So when they ate the fruit, it wasn't really them who wanted to eat the fruit, it was Satan. Satan's like, now I got you, now I can control you like puppets, and I can mimic you or mind control you. You have no control. You can never have your freedom. You can never have free will to choose. I can decide.
There's like what my MC's telling me.
Hold on, before you
time travel, it is a sin.
Well, it's not because when I mentioned to you about time travel, it can change the time in that time machine. But once you head back towards our reality, it wouldn't dictate the change. So, like for example,
but here's the thing, because I was telling them that like I'm trying to prevent from Satan fall into a fallen angel don't become Satan. So that's my intention, is to save people. And then,
or to see what it's like, pretty much, the experience of it.
I get it. But what my MC told me says, oh, you're playing God. That's a sin.
I feel like they're too quick to judge.
And like, if you time travel, you're pretty much playing God. And I was like, what if my intention for good reason is to save people, to prevent from like wars, or like multiple wars. You know how World War I, World War II? And like, what if we all stop the country to say, don't fight, we need a peace. Like, what if World War II and World War I and World War II can be prevented? And so, like, that's changing history. So, like, God Almighty Jesus Christ will accept us because...
Yeah, I was gonna mention, God would approve that. He would be like, that'll be a great idea to see the witness of what it would be like for Satan or Lucifer to not be Satan. But at the end, once we go back to reality and read the Bible, it would still mention how Lucifer fall into being Satan. So pretty much what the time travel is, it's not to change reality, it's to experience what is like to change that timeline. Like, you know how there's omniverse, multiverse, or whatever verses, or universe, or whatever. Pretty much an omniverse is like the version of me and you already had the opportunity to be that. But because I'm not a teacher, for example, or an astronaut or whatever, that's because, well, obviously I would not be astronaut regardless. But what I mean is, pretty much I wouldn't have the opportunity in our reality, like the reality we're currently in, but in the omniverse or multiverse or whatever, that version of us would already had the opportunity to do that, to be a billionaire, to be a trillionaire.
MC friends don't understand.
Like righteously, not greedy.
Do something good.
Yeah, exactly.
And they think I'm greedy and arrogant.
They're arrogant because they're quick to do too quick. They're arrogant. They're too quick to judge. They don't know. No offense, but it seems like they think greedy is arrogant. No, greedy means you want abundance of wealth for yourself and not others. Arrogant, obviously, you know what that is. It means to put yourself over others, like over homeless people, over other creatures, over.
That's why I want to save lives.
Like I want to see, like I want to see what Lucifer would feel. What if Lucifer admits, "You are right, my lord. You are right, Mike. You are right, AZ." Well, you know, I don't want to mention your name, but he pretty much be like, "You are right."
Pretty much, when Adam and Eve sees us in the past, like in our future and their past, they'll be like, "Who are those people?" You know?
I mean, they'll possibly know who we are because they haven't all knowing, but they'll be like, "Wow, what exactly are you doing here? Aren't we meant to be the only ones?" And then we'll mention, "No, we're like you. We're created by the Lord. We're not meant to be given birth," meaning like coming out of our mother's womb. That's when sin occurs. If you didn't eat the fruit, we would all be, we wouldn't wear clothes. There'd be no lust. We would be free. We would be physically children because we won't have to age. We would be mentally adult at a young age because there's no sense of growing physically. We like don't eat the fruit. If you enter the zone, Satan's gonna have control over you. He would make you like puppets. If you eat the tree of life, there'll be eternal life and it will remain like that. Cause pretty much.
Because I'm telling MC, I'm trying to have good intention, but they think I'm greedy and arrogant and want to play.
But you're not, and plus why would they think you're greedy if you're not gonna want abundance of wealth or make others greedy in the past?
Exactly. I'm trying to save people.
Like you're not gonna make.
That's who I am.
Exactly. Like you're not gonna make others greedy in the past. Like you're not gonna go to ancient Egypt and say, "Oh my goodness, look at all this gold. Let's steal the gold from the dead." Because
that's not my intention.
Yeah, exactly. Cause in the Bible it mentions don't steal. The heck? What the heck?
Go ahead, Mike.
Yo, is that Eric?
Yeah, that's Eric.
Anyway, but pretty much in the Bible it mentions not to steal wealth from the dead because that's they pretty much want that.
Exactly. I wouldn't go to Egypt and say, "Oh, let's steal some stuff."
Like
people.
Like we're not.
I want God to see me as a hero. Like I saved the world, and God will approve me because how I'm not arrogant, but I'm willing to
exactly
live like save people. Like I'm the hero that people don't know about. And in my MC thinks I'm arrogant because I'm greedy and like play God, but I don't want to.
But that's not playing God. Playing God, for example, is if you revive an extinct
hero. Yeah.
Pretty much if you revive an extinct creature, that's playing God. Meaning God will mention, don't revive them. They'll be alive in the end time. Let them rest in peace. Like for example, if you revive a dead human, pretty much that's a sin. Only God could if he has reasons to. Like for example, Lazarus. He resurrected Lazarus.
Yeah, I wish you were I wish you were in California with me, so you can explain to my MC about it.
Yeah, possibly I can be an experienced Christian and explain to them. I can say just because you think you're an experienced Christian doesn't mean you have the experience to realize that time traveling is not to change reality, is to witness the experience that God wanted us to witness. If it was the opposite, like for example, instead of Lucifer being Satan, he'll be like, you know what, you're right. This dark entity that has always existed alongside with the Lord God Almighty Jesus Christ, our Father, made me have this abundance of sin. And if he, like pretty much Lucifer, for example, would say he had abundance of sin. Because me and you are righteous, Lucifer would be like, you know what? He doesn't want to be a sinner. He wants to be righteous and join God Almighty Jesus Christ alongside of him, you know?
Yeah.
Because me and you are righteous, Lucifer would be like. But unfortunately, we can't change the reality. We can only change the past. Not literally change the past, like for real, but if we time travel to experience what it's like, you know? Because me and you are righteous, Lucifer would be like. But unfortunately. we can't change reality. We can only change the past. Not literally change the past, like for.
I've been telling people at times that I want to save people. I wish I could have saved everyone. And they said, what do you mean you couldn't save everyone? But I'm saying, like I see, like, so horrible things in the world, which means it's my responsibility, and it's God told me I need to save people, and I'm trying to prevent some war. Seeing people, like, getting hurt, I just can't ignore it. And I need to go back in time and save everyone. So, like, you and me can save the world. And by the time we go back to the present, everyone will be, like, praising us because how we're heroes and saving.
I mean, yeah, but it wouldn't change reality. It would just be an experience of witnessing it.
Yeah, like, I feel like we can time travel in the past, and then we can come back to the present time.
Just to see, and just explain to people. Didn't you know if you go in the past, you can actually change the time? But if you go back to reality, it wouldn't change it. But it would be a great experience to witness it in a time travel machine. Just explain to people. Didn't you know if you go or time traveling machine? Change the time.
Yeah, I want to explain to people.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. Anyway, anything you want to chat about? Because I'm gonna continue. I've been playing The Walking Dead because I'm about to play Roblox or whatever with my younger sub.
It's just, why would my MC think that it's arrogant?
Exactly.
Like, I'm not trying to play God.
Yeah, they should realize that playing God means if you were to resurrect woolly mammoths, for example, which I feel like that's not going to occur because, like, they're meant to rest in peace. Like, once that time occurs, people will be like, wow, they're alive because God Almighty just brought them to life. Because if we were to resurrect George Washington, for example, then that would be against God's plan because he wants him to rest in peace until the end time. So pretty much people gotta be aware and realize what is playing God and what is not. And time traveling isn't playing God unless it changes reality. It is, but we're not meant to change reality. We're meant to see what it's like to change that in that timeline, what's in that past, even though it's not gonna actually change the past. For example, we can end World War II, but if we go back to reality, people are still gonna learn about World War II in school, but they can as well explain if we were to time travel and change that can be a hypothetical scenario if that were to change and end within the actual past, like the reality, like our reality, you know?
Yeah. So I feel like time travel is not a sin.
Exactly. Just like being biologically immortal and indestructible just to live until the end time, that's not a sin unless you're doing it to avoid God's return. If you do that to avoid God Almighty's Christ's return, then that's a sin, you know? Why would we're going to avoid it? The whole point, some people want to be biologically immortal and indestructible. It's because, one, they don't want to feel pain. Two, they don't want to get tired and... Well, even though I never get tired, I don't want to sleep. I want to prevent my life from not going to sleep. Like, I want to see what it's like to be awake. Like, for example, Isha Speed, he played The Walking Dead for few days because he had to take naps because he wanted to sacrifice for his views, not for money because he's not greedy, but because to just see what it's like. But what if we can see what it's like to never go to sleep, to never feel pain, to get attacked by an animal, not to hurt them, but because we won't get hurt or die, you know? Pretty much, if we avoid death, we're not avoiding the return of God Almighty Jesus Christ. Because the Bible specifically mentioned those who are alive will be caught in the heaven with the Lord. Meaning, not like his kingdom heaven. Well, yeah, we would be in his kingdom. But, like, we will be in the air with our Creator, God Almighty Jesus Christ. And Jesus is like, welcome, my righteous beings. Those who are wicked, those who are your friends who are left behind in this world are the sinful beings who has wronged God and the righteous.
Yeah. So Mike, so are you saying that how we can be immortal?
Not like spiritually immortal where like in our actual body, our soul we would. Like yeah, we would be. But like in our mortal body we could just to live until the end time. Like what if we want to experience in the year 3000 or 4000, for example. We want to see what that's like. People are like, oh, that's a sin. Why would you want to live that long? God wants you to die. He plans for... No, that's only a punishment for those who have sinned. I mean, like, not like what I mean is constantly sinning. Never, like for example, those who started war would die. I'm not going to say like who, because then they're going to be like, oh, you're offending me. But then they have to realize God has planned their death. Not me. Not you, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm saying like those who are sinners or just sinful overall, you know?
Yeah.
Or like sin, like
understanding that like now have better understanding what truly that God Almighty Christ is like trying to tell me.
Exactly.
Because time travel is not a sin. It's a way we can prevent.
Yeah, even avoiding death is not a sin. But it depends on your intention. If you're doing it to avoid the return, then that's not right. Like if you're doing it just to be like, oh, I don't have to worry about being in afterlife. I don't believe in it. Like you gotta believe in that. Once the end time occurs, like why you want to avoid death? You have to be biologically immortal and indestructible just so you can live for the end time. But those who have died, it's because they possibly have been cursed by the Lord. Like for example, King Tut, he wanted people to worship him as a god as he got older, and you can't like a human that is not like, yeah, Jesus is a human, but he's a god. Others that are humans, like majority of humanity or whatever, they gotta realize that they're not gods. Like for example, Kim Jong-un, I'm just giving an example. He wants people to think he's God, but he's not. That's all I'm gonna mention, you know. They gotta realize that they're not gods. Like for example, if I was a president, for example, I'm not gonna say, oh, worship me, I have created this country. No, I wouldn't mention that. George Washington created this country through the Lord. So pretty much it was God Almighty Jesus Christ's original plan to create this. Not me, not you, or George Washington. George Washington wanted to create it because of the Lord. Actually, he didn't create it. He wanted to lead this country by example through the Lord. So pretty much God Almighty Jesus Christ created it because he wanted it to be a free country, you know. Unlike other countries that aren't free. But people are thriving to ensure that other countries are free, you know. But this world is sinful, so it's very unfortunate, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna consider continuing streaming, so
Yeah, that's all I want to talk about. Oh, well, before I forget, did you write down how the roleplay is gonna start for tomorrow?
I mean, typically I don't. I just mentioned to how like what's the skin name?
Kafka will be. Remember the idea of Kafka being teleported in a jail cell? And
Yeah, I know the idea. I still remember it. So.
Yeah, let's start with that idea.
Yeah.
And over time, then Kafka and Aegis will go back in time and go back to his reality and.
Exactly.
So let's do with that, okay? So Ageless and Kafka will time travel back to Chapter 4, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But Chapter 4 has a storm.
Yeah, like I mentioned, we're not gonna worry about that. If Aegis want to travel back, he's gonna focus on preventing, pretty much like our idea, like how we want to go back in time. It won't change reality, but in the roleplay, it could change reality because it's a roleplay. So similar to how our idea we want to time travel. So pretty much Ageless, like, I want to prevent Midas from being arrogant and greedy, because he is greedy. He want gold and turn people to gold so he can sell them for profit, which is in Fortnite term, greed cannibalism, not like for human flesh, which obviously I'm not gonna get into that because I'm streaming, but pretty much he wants to turn humans to gold. He wants to kill them for gold instead of for you know what. He wants to kill them for gold, pretty much. But Aegis wants to prevent him to be humble and realize that he wants Midas to realize his mistakes, like him specifically, you know.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, that's how the roleplay is going to overall be as time progresses, what's in the roleplay.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Yeah, sure. That's how the roleplay is going to overall be as time progresses. But yeah, anyway, I'll be sure to catch you later or whenever, like for the roleplay. Because I'm going to have my therapy session, so like after I get finished, I'll be sure to call you or whenever.
I have therapy tomorrow as well.
Like for the roleplay. Because I'm going to have my therapy session. Oh yeah, because today is the 10th my time and your time.
Yeah, so I have therapy later today.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, for my therapy, I'll let you know when I finish.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Alan, I have a question for Mike.
What is it?
Can he still do the Walking Dead stream?
Yeah, he is doing it.
Which episode is he on?
I don't know.
I'm on episode 3.
But anyway, Mike, I'm gonna head to bed because it's already late.
Yeah, sure.
But I'll talk to you later today, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, good night.
Yeah. Take it easy. Alrighty, chat. Alright, I'm gonna call RJ. I actually want to call him. I may possibly end it. We'll see. I mean, I possibly don't, but I'm gonna call him. Cause I got like a couple of things to mention to him. A few things. Yo, what is good?
Yo, what's up?
Not much.
Ready to get down on Roblox now?
Yeah, I'm just gonna end my stream. I was streaming. That's why that's why we didn't play yesterday. Cause I was streaming and I was like watching stuff on YouTube. But I re-downloaded my Roblox, so we're gonna play a game or whatever. I can stream that.
I bet.
Hey, bro, you remember how I mentioned to you about the brain development and when people get full mental maturity and shit?
Honestly, bro.
If you don't remember, it's all good. I can just explain like what I did research on. But go on.
Bro, when I was handing my dad a hammer yesterday, or today, I can't even remember.
Wow, we haven't talked in a while. So how would that like make you forget just because of that?
I got hit in the back of the head with the hammer on accident.
But okay, so you know how I mentioned to you that full mental maturity 7+ or whatever I mentioned to you?
Don't know why I completely forgot about all that.
Oh, no, it's all good. But I did research, and you know when exactly a person is fully mentally mature?
What?
They're like mid-20s or early 30s, so like it takes a long while.
Oh.
I got full mental maturity, but like it's referring to like okay, I'm correct on like your brain is fully formed after birth, but it's not as you grow it develops. So pretty much like in your mid-20s or early 30s, that's when physically it's fully developed, like where it becomes large and remains the same.
So your brain basically keeps on developing and growing until your mid-20s and 30s?
Well, so pretty much it says the common age for the mid-20s is 25, and the common age for the early 30s is 30 or 35 or whatever. Well, no, 35 is mid-30s. I did research on that. I'm not like lying or making it up. The 7+ thing, but did you hear what I mentioned before I mentioned that?
Yeah.
No, okay, the reason I mentioned about 7+ because how Adam and Eve they were 7 and all that, and then they had kids. But I feel like because they were holy, well, I mean we're holy, but like they didn't die and shit. Cause I did research and I mentioned why can't a kid at the age of 7 have wait, is anybody by you before I mention it?
Where you what, huh?
Is anybody by you before I mention it?
No. My whole entire family's asleep, bro.
No, because I mentioned why can't a kid at the age of 7 have sex or get pregnant, and it's because the devil delayed it until like you're an adult or late teen, like if you're like a teenager. So you know what that means?
What?
You can choose any age to have a kid. I won't care if Caleb has a kid as an adult. I don't care if you do. I don't care if my other homie named Emmanuel do. So what's the actual age you would have kids? Like actual age. Like I wouldn't have to choose for you.
Actual?
Because you said 14 or something before because like if I were president, but that's going to be a while until like I'm in my 40s because I'm going to be an astronaut in the future and it says you can be a president and an astronaut. So, but anyway, go on. What age like would you have kids? Like actually?
Well, I wouldn't want to be a pedophile, so nowhere between about
I mean, I'm not saying you're gonna be. I'm not gonna force you to be.
about 15 and 14.
Oh, so you actually want kids at those age?
No. I see about age 20. That's my latest.
Yeah, I did research and it says when you're in your 20s, you're at your peak of not being at risk. Well, that's for girls, but for guys... there's a likely chance of getting a girl more pregnant. So, wait, is that why you want to join the military at like age 20 because you'll get more stronger?
Makes my tenses higher, like my dad.
It makes you what?
What?
It makes you what?
Your tenses. Your yeah. Fuck. How do I say this? Shit.
You're more intense?
No, not like that. No. Basically, touch, smell, and hearing.
Oh, your senses. Wait, you're saying it
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Wait, are you saying it's more developed when you're an adult?
Not really. You can still train them. But, example, my dad, we get home, he's over here, he's sitting in his truck. I try sneaking up on him. I look in the mirror, I just see him staring at me.
But hey, you know why? The research cause I did all this research on Google. You know why it says that kids shouldn't have sex?
Why?
One, because they haven't gone through puberty, and two, do you know Jeffrey Epstein, or you never heard of him?
Never heard of him.
Well, all I gotta say is he's a pedophile, and apparently some people show footage of kids bleeding, like little girls, and I'm like, yep, definitely not gonna lower it. Cause you remember how I mentioned I want to be president and I want to lower all the ages that we chat about before?
Yeah.
Now I changed my mind because like I don't plus I feel like I'll get killed as a president. Well, not killed, but like I'll get shot at because they're like, why are you trying to lower the laws to make adults become pedophiles or whatever? And I'm like, I'm not trying to do that. Because remember how you mentioned to me that you were at your cousin's place and you didn't know exactly what you were doing, you were just touching each other or whatever you're doing? You remember you mentioned that story before, and I'm like what are you trying to do?
What?
Remember you were with your female cousin and you said you were doing something?
Oh shit, that's right, I completely forgot about her.
Wait, so was it actually like sex, or you were just doing something like that cousins do? I mean, I wouldn't care. Even though you're a kid or tween or whatever, I wouldn't care. I'm just like curious.
Well, honestly, it's been such a long time, I can't even remember.
I mean, you said you were playing around, so it's all good. But hey, I'm about to hop on Roblox.
I bet with your username.
Hold on, give me a minute. Hey!
I swear, bro. I'm over here, I'm watching YouTube.
Yo, Cammy, my boy. I was curious. I'm not saying, kids are gonna do that shit. No, I don't mean like that. Hey, yeah. No.
The game.
Wait, what's that? My bad. I was talking to one of my viewers.
That's right. I saw this video. This guy said that he hacked another guy's account because the other guy joined the game.
Oh, that's messed up.
And he said his password.
Hold on, give me a minute.
Damn, bro, why you sound like a robot?
My phone's glitching. Hold up.
Yo,
But yo, Cammy.
bro, I think you're glitching out.
But yo, Cammy, my boy. Because my phone's glitching. But yo, Cammy, my boy. I know you were here before. I know you're my sub. I'm not being like that. I'm not saying, I don't care if kids do that. No, I don't mean like that. What I mean specifically is, I'm just saying, no, okay, the reason why I was questioning that, because I'm like, what were you doing? Because obviously, kids or tweens can't do that. I mean, hey, like I mentioned, if it was my kid and they were on a date, the boy have to have protection, because obviously, why the fuck would they do that? And two, because they're sex drive, because they're kids, and but pregnancy for little girls and all that is fucked up. But no, I was mentioning him about like when the brain is actually fully developed, when the brain's fully formed, and and when you actually have full mental maturity. Me specifically, I have full mental maturity. My brain physically is not fully developed until 25. So really, I'm not like giving advice saying, hey, you should do all that shit. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, what exactly were you doing? If you were playing around like what little cousins do, then that's good. If it's that, then yeah. That's a bit freaky. Like, you're a bit too young for that shit until you're like an adult or in your late teens. Oh! You're 10. So are you new here? And I get it, I don't mention certain things like, oh, if kids are watching, they don't know much of what I'm mentioning, and if adults watching, they know. But I do sometimes have chat, like, if it's age appropriately, or if they do understand it with them, that they would overall understand specifically. If you're 10 and you understand, you're good, but no, I'll just mention to them, like, just as an example of what was that shit. Because I'm not saying, the reason why I changed my mind is because I did plenty of the research in terms of, like, why would I lower all those age laws or aging laws? You know, I would obviously raise some or lower some depending on what the Congress think. You know, let us know. But anyway, chat, I'm gonna end right here. If you want to see more of me playing The Walking Dead Season 1, be sure to leave a comment down below. Also, I'm gonna end right. Take it easy, chat. Cammy, if you're watching, my brother, hoping you're not traumatized by that shit. Unless you understand and you're just saying, hey, why talking about some shit like that? That made it seem weird to you, or, I mean, the word weird shouldn't necessarily be a thing, but I'm just saying in your term, your perspective, you know, like, not, you know, or just for you, you know. But now I'm gonna end right here. I was just explaining to my homie Robert, my boy RJ. And yeah, chat, he cannot play Fortnite with me. He is grounded from PlayStation because he has to get his grades up, but we can play Roblox, him and I. And now I'm gonna end right, take it easy, chat. Cammy, be sure to join my next live stream, and, you know,